Hey gang, here I am with question number 2 on the financial literacy quiz, or the percent retake quiz. Question goes like this. My Aunt Betsy lives in California, unlike my nephew Danny who lives in Massachusetts. In California, state taxes are 2% higher than they are for my nephew Danny. Her monthly deductions totaled $1,950. And what is her monthly gross salary? What this question is really asking you is how to find the whole if you know the part. So let's investigate what the part is. If you remember from our last problem, we had totaled up all of the percents that were the deductions for each of the taxes, and we came up with 28%. That was what my nephew Danny lost from his salary. But my Aunt Betsy, well, the 12% stays. However, the state taxes are now 2% higher. So my nephew Danny paid 3%, she pays 5%. 12% federal, 5% state. The same for local, 1%, same 6% for Medicare, 6% for Social Security. But this time, if you total up all of the deductions that she has, that equals 30% here. So her deductions are 30%. And the problem tells you that her monthly deductions are $1,950, which means $1,950 is 30%. The question asks for her monthly gross, so this time we need to find out what 100% is. We know the part, but we don't know the whole. So let's investigate how we could do this. All right, I'm going to set this up like a proportion and move myself just a little bit out of the way. Nope. A little bit out of the way. There we go. All right, so I know 30% is 30 over 100. And I know that 1,950 is the part, but I don't know the whole. So again, it's a proportion problem. We can solve proportion problems in 2 ways. We can either find the within ratio, 10 times what, or 10 divided by what equals 3, or we can find the between ratio, 3 times what equals 1,950. In this case, 10 divided by something equals 3, not super easy. 10 times something equals 3, not super easy. So let's look at 3 times what equals 1,950. And I'm going to do something called the tower multiplication, which is up here. Well, seems like we got some multiple 5s going on, so I'm going to go with 3 times 5. I know 3 times 5 is 15. If I multiply them both by 10, 3 times 50, 150. If I multiply them by 10 again, 3 times 500 is 1,500. All right, 1,500 should be able to help me out here. That's a good chunk of 1,950. If I take 1,950 and I subtract 1,500, I'll know that I only have to figure out 450 more. So again, I know 3 times 5 is 15. Well, I also know that 3 times 10 is 30. If I add these two together, I will find that 3 times 15 is 45. Aha, 45 can help me out here. If I know 3 times 15 is 45, then I know 3 times 150 is 450. Just multiply these by 10. All right, so I know that 3 times 500 plus 3 times 150 is going to give me 1,950. So 500 plus 150 is 650. So times what? 3 times 650 is going to give me 1,950. Now we've got an easy problem to solve. If I know it's 3 times 650, then all I have to do is 10 times 650. And 10 times 650 is 6,500. What is my Aunt Betsy's monthly gross salary? It's $6,500. Okay? There you go. All right, let's take a look at the credit card problem, which was a challenge for a lot of people. Let's just read it for a second. My nephew Brian thinks his credit card company charged him too much interest on his forward balance. A lot of vocabulary here that you had to remember from when we worked on credit card debt and financial literacy. His APR, or annual percentage rate, is 18%. He had an unpaid forward balance of $850. His interest for the month was $17. Was this correct or not? Explain your answer. Okay, you've got to really understand annual versus monthly here. If he is charged 18% interest for the year, how much is he charged for each month? Well, how many months are in the year? 12. So I'm going to do a division problem here. I'm going to set it up like a proportion. 18% in 12 months is how much in 1 month? I'm going to go with between ratios. 12 divided by 12 is 1. So I need to do 18 divided by 12. Well, 18 divided by 12, remember this fraction bar really just creates, the division sign really just creates a fraction. 18 divided by 12 is 18 twelfths. I can simplify that because there's a greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3. 12 divided by 6 is 2. So 18 divided by 12 is 3 divided by 2, which equals 1.5. Another way to write that is 1 5/10. So how much is my nephew Brian charged each month percent? He's charged 1.5%. All right, so the question now is $17 1.5% of $850? That's what we have to figure out. So, how am I going to solve this? You guessed it, ratio tables. I know I've got my balance here and my percent here. 100% of my balance, or the total balance, is $850. Then, let's go nice and easy from 100% to 10%. 10% is so helpful. How do I get from 100 to 10? I divide by 10. So 850 divided by 10 is 85. But I'm looking for 1.5% here. That's my goal, 1.5%. So I'm going to try to find 1%. Well, if I know 10%, I can find 1%. How do I get from 10 to 1? Divide by 10. So divide by 10. 85 divided by 10 is 8 5/10. Notice the relationship here between 850, 85, and 8 5/10. So I know 1% is 8 5/10. But I need to know 1.5%. So I'm going to try to find 0.5% here. Well, if I know 1, how do I get to 1/2? Well, 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. So if I divide this by 2, I'm going to divide this by 2. So I'm going to take 8 5/10 and divide it in half. Well, half of 8 is 4, and half of 5/10, or half of 1/2, is 1/4, or 25 hundredths. So 1/2% is $4.25. I should even write in this $8.50 so we get an idea here. Okay, so now if I know 1% and I know 0.5%, $8.50, $4.25%, this is $4.25. 1.5% is just 1% plus 0.5%. Well, I'm going to add these two together, $8.50 and $4.25. 8 plus 4 is 12. 50 plus 25 hundredths are 75 hundredths. So 1.5% of $850 is $12.75. Was that $17? No, it was not. They charged him too much. Okay, let's take a look at a different way to solve this. And some people solve this in a pretty neat way, which I thought was interesting. All right. Well, a year, annual percentage rate, is 12 months. So some students decided to figure out, well, I wonder what 18% of $850 is. And if I know that, maybe I can divide 18% by 12 months to see if they charged him the right amount per month. So guess how I'm going to solve this problem again? Using a ratio table. Exactly. So this time I've got the balance here and the percent here. My total is still $850, so 100% is $850. But this time I'm looking for 18%. All right, well, how am I going to do this? 850 is 100, 10% is 85, 1% is $8.50. I'll even write it like this, $8.50, or right, 8 5/10. All right, but now if I know 1%, I'm looking for 18. So I'm going to think to myself, I can figure out 20 and I can figure out 2. And 18 is going to be 20 times 2. So if I know 1, I can get to 2 because I can just multiply by 2. Well, I can do 8.5 times 2 pretty easy. That gives me 17. Whoa, whoa, red flag, red flag, red flag. Isn't 17 what my nephew Brian was charged anyway? Whoa, I should know already that this is too much that he's being charged, because $17 is actually 2%. That could stop the problem right there, and I could be done. But let's keep going with this whole 18% thing. Well, if I know 2%, I can find 20%, because I know that 2 times 10 is 20. So if I just multiply by 10 here, 17 times 10 is going to give me 170. So that's 20%. I want to know 18%, which is 20% times 2. So I'm going to take my 170, subtract 17, and that's going to give me $153. So $153 is 18% of $850, or what he might be charged for the year. But we want to know what he's going to be charged for the month. So if it's $153, there we go, I'm pretty well situated here. If it's $153 for 12 months, how much is it for 1 month? Well, this is a division problem. Just like before when we did our between ratios, we're going to do divide by 12, and then we're going to do divide by 12. 153 divided by 12. That division sign is going to turn into a fraction bar. So I got 153 over 12. 153 divided by 12. Hey, I know something. I know 12 times 12 is 144. And that's going to get me awfully close. So I know that in 153 twelfths, there are 12 holes. And let's see, if there's 144 twelfths in 12 holes, how much is left over? Well, 153 minus 144 is 9. But it's important to remember that that is 9 twelfths. So my 9 is here, but I can't lose that denominator of 12. So 153 twelfths, which is an improper fraction, is actually the mixed number 12 and 9 twelfths. But I can simplify 9 twelfths into 3/4. So it's really 12 and 3/4. And if I wanted to write this as a decimal, which we would because it's money, 12 and 3/4 is $12.75. Hey, look at that. That's our answer again. Okay. I'll be back in a bit to answer question number 4.